In this video, we'll be managing ads that have already been launched and are currently appearing to Facebook users. The most important point here is that you should always keep a close eye on how your ad is doing, because the results will determine how much you spend on it, and whether you should try different imagery or targeting. If you forget to monitor an ad that's doing poorly, you'll end up wasting money. And if you forget to check on an ad that's doing well, you'll have missed an opportunity to spend more and drive in a lot more sales. With that in mind, let's take a look through the information, often called metrics, which Facebook gives us about our ads. One of the great parts of Facebook advertising is that after launching an ad, you can start seeing results and data almost instantly. We launched an ad a few days ago, which means we have several days of data to play with. So let's go ahead and see how it's doing. Let's head to facebook.com/ads/manage. Here we have our main campaign dashboard. A single Facebook ad campaign can contain many individual ads, but we generally recommend limiting each campaign to one newsfeed and one right-hand column ad. If you have too many ads in one campaign, Facebook will not effectively distribute your budget across them, which means the work you put into creating those ads variations will probably go to waste, and we don't want that. When you go into your campaigns, you can look at the individual ads within them. Here we see both the newsfeed and the right-hand column ad. From this dashboard, we can examine the most important metrics for understanding how our ads are performing. First, and most important, is conversions, which is the number of orders that have been directly driven by a Facebook ad. If our ad isn't driving any sales, then it's not doing us any good. So this metric is absolutely vital. Remember though, not all sales generated by your Facebook ad will show up as a conversion here. If someone sees one of your ads, then shares your campaign page with a friend, via Facebook, email, or otherwise, or even just ends up buying later from a different computer, Facebook won't receive any credit here. Also, each conversion represents a checkout, which is different from the total number of products sold. If someone orders 5 shirts in a single purchase, Facebook will still only show one conversion. The point is, while it's useful to see how many conversions Facebook tracks, the most accurate picture of your total sales is going to come directly from your Teespring campaign and its built-in analytics, especially if Facebook ads are the primary way you're driving traffic. Cost per conversion is the total amount of money spent on an ad, divided by the number of orders produced by the ad. It's essentially how much it's costing you to bring in one order via each ad. This metric is important because, as long as it's lower than the profit per sale on your Teespring campaign, then you know you're making money overall. For example, if your cost per conversion is $3 and you make $10 profit per item sold, then for every $3 you spend on the ad, you're earning back what you just spent on the ad, plus another $7 in net profit. Generally speaking, as long as your cost per conversions are low, say less than $5, you'll want to increase your overall budget to keep driving in sales because you're earning back your advertising spend for each order, plus an additional profit. All right, on to the next metric. Ad reach is the number of people who have seen your ad. Since your ad will only be shown to people who match the potential campaign audience we set up when creating the ad, the number listed in the ad reach column should never exceed the size of that original audience. This metric is generally useful to see how many people have seen the ad, and, more importantly, to know how many people in your ad audience have yet to see it. Frequency is the average number of times that members of your target audience have seen the ad. For newsfeed ads, it's typically a waste of money for you to display an ad more than twice to anyone, because these ads are very prominent. And each additional time someone sees the ad, it still costs you the same amount, but the viewer is less and less likely to actually click through and buy. This is known as Facebook ad fatigue, and it occurs when people start ignoring ads. For the right-hand side, since people are less likely to notice the ad, you can run your frequency as high as 15 and still be making money. Clicks is the number of times people have clicked on your ad. For a newsfeed ad, this also includes likes, shares, and comments, not just clicks through to your Teespring campaign. Click-through rate measures the percent of people who, having been shown the ad, actually click through and reach your campaign page. This is one of the most important early indicators of an ad success, until we've had enough sales to use conversions as a primary metric instead. Typically, we look to have a click-through rate, sometimes abbreviated CTR, of at least 3% on newsfeed ads, and over 0.06% on right-hand column ads. Any less than that, and you'll want to try improving your ad image, text, or targeting. And remember, it's most important to be patient when your ads first launch. Don't be discouraged if people aren't clicking right away. You need at least 1,000 newsfeed views or 5,000 right-hand column views before you can accurately start judging how well the ad is doing. And to be clear, While an ad's click-through rate is a strong indicator of performance, it doesn't tell you how truly effective that ad is. Some ads will drive a whole lot of clicks and still only get a few conversions. Maybe people like the shirt's message, but don't want to actually buy and wear a shirt with that message on it. This is always disappointing, but it's also a good way to learn about what sort of apparel people do and don't want to wear. And very occasionally, an ad with terrible click-through rates will still generate a good number of sales. When this happens, it's usually possible to create another ad that performs better and sells even more shirts. The average price column shows how much Facebook is charging you to show your ad to a viewer, and is measured in terms of cost per 1,000 impressions, also known as CPM, which stands for cost per milla. Typically, it's best to keep your CPM under $10 for newsfeed ads and 35 cents for right-hand column ads. If your audience size is quite small, Facebook will sometimes inadvertently drive your CPM up above where you want it to be. This is because Facebook ads work on an automated auction system, where your ads are competing against the ads of other companies to be shown to your target audience. The reason your small audience causes the price to increase is that if a lot of advertisers are competing for a small group, Facebook can't spread the ads around as well, causing competition to intensify and increasing prices. When this happens, you may be able to reduce costs by lowering your overall daily budget or increasing the audience size. Here we can see what our ad looks like to our targeted Facebook users. Clicking View in Newsfeed gives us a preview of our ad in the context of a user's stream, allowing us to view our ad's social engagement, including likes, comments, and most importantly, shares. If you see comments that are inappropriate or negative, you're able to hide them here. We find a like rate of 1% or better is a good indicator of a successful ad. That is, for every 100 impressions, the ad will receive 1 like. Similarly, look for a share rate of at least 0.2%, or 1 share for every 500 impressions. These metrics are easy to calculate. To get impressions, multiply reach and frequency. To get like and share rates, just divide the number of likes or shares by the number of impressions and multiply by 100. If your ad isn't performing well, or its performance is beginning to decline, it's a good idea to try some different targeting. Click Create Similar Ad. Here you can change the text or imagery, but remember that in doing so, you'll lose the ad's existing social engagement, the likes, the shares, and comments, and you'll start fresh. So if you want to retain the engagement, don't touch the imagery or text. Clear out the old targeting and try something else. Select New Campaign to place the new ad in its own campaign. Give it a new name and click Place Order. It's good to try a number of variations so you can test what works, then spend more on the winning ones. It may seem like a lot of work to manage your ads, but once the sales start rolling in, it's a fun, even addicting process.